Next one, operation of LC tank circuits. So this is the LC tank circuit diagram. That is, the inductive and capacitive is connected in parallel combination. That is called as a tank circuit or tune circuit. So let's see the principle behind this LC tank circuits. So first, to consider the capacitor, let us assume that the capacitor is initially charged from a DC source with the polarities. Initially, the capacitor is initially charged through the DC source with the polarities like this. There is positive upper side, in lower plate is a negative polarity. When the capacitor is charged, the energy stored in the capacitor is known as the electrostatic energy. So when initially the capacitor is fully charged from this DC source with the polarities, so the energy stored in the capacitor is now called as the electrostatic energy. Now, when the charged capacitor is connected across the inductor, then the capacitor discharging through this inductor, because the inductor is connected parallel with this capacitor. So initially the fully charged capacitor is now discharged through this inductor. Okay, this one is the second step. Third step is due to this, now the energy is transferred to this inductor. So due to this current flow, the magnetic field is set up around across this inductor. So this arrow mark indicates the current flow directions. Now the inductor starts storing the energy. Now that energy is called as the magnetic energy. So in the first step, the capacitor is charged and the energy is stored is called as the electrostatic energy. And the second step is the inductor is connected across this capacitor. So the charged capacitor is fully discharged through this inductors. Now the current flow through this inductor is indicate this arrow. Now the energy stored in this inductor is called as the magnetic energy. Now the magnetic field around the inductor starts collapsing according to Lenz's law. Okay, so Lenz's law is nothing but it opposes to the change in flux, right? The current induced in the inducting field due to this magnetic energy, which opposes to the change in flux, that is called as the Lenz's law. Now the capacitor is starts charging with the opposite polarity because of this Lenz's law, right? So next up, after some time the capacitor gets fully charged. This magnetic energy, now according to the Lenz's law, this capacitor is fully charged with the opposite polarity due to this Lenz's law. The entire magnetic energy is converted into electrostatic energy because the energy is stored in capacitor now. So that energy is called as the electrostatic energy. Once again the capacitor starts discharging through this inductor, but the direction of current flow is reversed to the initial stage. Okay, because the polarity is changed as compared to the earlier stage. So hence that electrostatic energy is converted into magnetic energy once again when capacitor is fully discharged. So the magnetic field starts collapsing again, then the process is repeated in the earlier stages. That is nothing but the capacitor is charged, again discharged. That is, electrostatic energy is converted to magnetic energy, then magnetic energy is converted to electrostatic energy. So this process is repeatedly continuing. So every time when energy is transferred from capacitor to inductor and inductor to capacitor, so the losses occur due to which the amplitude of oscillating current starts decreasing, right? So this process is repeated, then the energy is changes from transfer from capacitor to inductor and inductor to capacitor. So that time some losses occur, which is nothing but the amplitude of oscillating is decreases. Because of decreasing oscillations, it is called as exponentially decaying oscillations or damped oscillations. In LC oscillator, the transistor amplifier supplies this loss of energy which occur due to the tank circuit. So hence LC tank circuit along with the transistor amplifier can be used to obtain sustained oscillations. So whenever we are using only LC tank circuit, then the oscillation is not a sustained oscillations. It become a damped oscillations only. But our applications we require a sustained oscillations. So we are including the transistor amplifier with this tank circuit, then only we can get the sustained oscillations. So the frequency of oscillations depends on the L and C is nothing but F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC, the units of Hertz. So this is the basic principle behind the LC oscillator, that is LC tank circuit. Next, see the general form of an LC oscillator. So this is the general circuit of LC oscillator. That is one is amplifier circuit, another one is a feedback circuit. So in a feedback circuits, we are using a inductor and capacitor, otherwise capacitors, inductors. Based on the types, we can change these components, right? Let's see the general derivation of LC tank circuit. So here Z1, Z2 and Z3 are reactive elements consisting of the feedback tank circuit, which determines the frequency of oscillations. So these reactive elements only going to determine the frequency of oscillations. The reactive elements should be the inductive and capacitive for LC oscillators, right? So this is the H parameter equivalent model of this tank circuit. That is, the amplifier is replaced by the H parameter, then the feedback network is similarly same. Z1 and the input resistance HIE of the transistors are in parallel. These two are the parallel, and the equivalent impedance is Z dash, which is given by impedance. So we can use the reverse, 1 divided by Z dash equal to 1 by Z1 plus 1 by HIE. So Z dash is equal to Z1 HIE divided by Z1 plus HIE. By using the LCM, we can get this equation. Now the load impedance ZL between the output terminals 2 and 3 is the equivalent impedance of Z2 in parallel with the series combination of Z dash and Z3. Right? So from that we can find 1 by ZL load impedance equal to Z2 is series with the combination of Z1 plus Z3. Right? So 1 by Z2, Z1 plus Z3 is nothing but, that is Z dash plus Z3 nothing but Z1 HIE divided by Z1 plus HIE plus Z3. Now take this LCM of this and the denominator goes to upper side, we can get this form. Right? Now 1 by Z2 plus Z1 by HIE divided by Z1 Z3 plus Z1 HIE is common, so Z1 plus Z3. Now take the LCM of these two terms. So Z2 into HIE Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 plus Z3. This term is multiplied with this one and this term is multiplied with this, we can get this one. So 1 by ZL equal to Z1 Z3, Z1 Z2, then HIE is common of Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3, we can get this one, and denominator is same. So 1 by ZL equal to this term, then ZL equal to just reverse, numerator goes to denominator and denominator goes to numerator. So we can get the load impedances like this. And voltage gain without feedback, AV formula is V0 by Vs, where output voltage is equal to minus HFE IB into ZL divided by input Vs equal to IB into HIE. So minus HFE ZL by HIE. Feedback factor beta is connected across the terminal 3 and 1. So Vf is equal to Z dash divided by Z dash plus Z3. V0 equal to Z1 parallel HIE divided by, Vf is nothing but feedback factor is connected as the terminal 3rd and 1. So by applying the voltage divider rule, the total voltage V0 into parallel resistance Z dash divided by the total resistance Z dash plus Z3. So we know the Z dash value, then plus Z3 into V0. Beta equal to Vf by V0. So already we know Vf this term and V0 cancel. Right? Z1 parallel HIE is nothing but Z1 into HIE divided by Z1 plus HIE divided by Z1 HIE Z1 plus HIE plus Z3. Now take this LCM and simplify, we get the beta value like this. So equation for the oscillation is A beta equal to 1, that is nothing but percussion criterion. We know the voltage gain value A, that is Vf by Vs, that the V0 by Vs we already derived, and beta also we derived. After simplification we get HF ZL into Z1 divided by this term equal to 1. We know the ZL value, so substitute ZL value into HFE into this term. Now cancel, remaining term is there. Okay, this minus term is come to this side, so we can get minus 1 here. And then HIFE Z1 Z2 equal to this term, cross multiplication, we can get this. Now come into one side, we get the final equation of LC oscillator. This is nothing but the general equation of LC oscillator, that is HIE into Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z2 into 1 plus HFE plus Z1 Z3 equal to 0. So based on this equation, we can substitute based on this circuit whether Z1 is inductive or capacitive. Like this, you have to substitute the values. We can get the frequency of oscillations by using this general equation of LC oscillator. Right?